One of the 2008 Southwest Books of the Year is being called a major contribution to our knowledge of the people and homeland of the Tohono O'odham. The book is titled Fragile Patterns, the Archaeology of the Western Papagueria. The editors of the book are with us tonight. Dr. Jeffrey Altschul is the founder and chairman of Tucson-based Statistical Research Incorporated, and Adrianne Rankin is an archaeologist for the Barry M. Goldwater Range based at Luke Air Force Base. Thank you both for being with us. Congratulations on this, this award. This is really quite an honor. Dr. Altschul, why decide to focus on a place that so few people really visit?
Well, that's a great question. And part of it is that the place is so incredibly diverse once you get to know it. You drive through it and you think, man, there's nothing here. But it turns out that people have thought differently. And for the last 10,000 years, there have been lots of cultural events and very important changes that humans have brought to this area. We also felt very strongly about the people of the Papagueria, both past, present, and those that study it. Both Adrianne and I have been very fortunate in our careers to be supported by the American taxpayer. Most of the work in the book was in support of environmental laws. And we feel very strongly that the American public there should be a public benefit to what we do. And
Ms. Rankin, is this area very rich in archaeology? It may be remote, but as from an archaeology point of view, it's a pretty exciting place, isn't it?
It is an exciting place, and it's very biologically diverse. In fact, it's the most biologically diverse portion of the Sonoran Desert, but it's culturally diverse also. And it's been a thrill to go to such an area thinking that there wouldn't be much there, or we'd just find small remnants. And we found very large sites indicating that people were actually settled in the Western Papagueria, which is the most arid portion of the Sonoran Desert.
And give us a little idea where this is geographically. Many people watch this program are new to Arizona, and even those that have been around Tucson a long time may not know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, the Western Papagueria extends from the Tohono O'odham Reservation almost to Yuma, from Gila Bend down to Rocky Point.
I mean, people know San Javier del Bac, so
Right.
It starts pretty much that would be on the...
Well, actually, it would be the western side of the Tohono O'odham Reservation. The reservation itself is part of the Eastern Papagueria.
This being remote can have its advantages, I guess, in some ways.
It certainly can.
What were the advantages in this particular area?
Well, I think that for the people that lived in the Western Papagueria, they pretty much were left alone. And so you can think of hunters and gatherers and foragers who moved in huge or vast annual cycles, and pretty much were allowed to develop and adapt and transform themselves without a lot of influence from the outside. And
I was going to say, well, how has that, when you, from an archaeological point of view, you can trace the history, what, thousands of years in that area?
Yes, at least 12,000 years in the area.
And why did people originally settle in that area?
Well, the climate was much different at that time. There are springs in the area. The area probably supported large game animals, so we do see people moving through the area very early on in search of that large game.
Let's talk about the book itself. It's a 700-page plus document, and both of you were editing some really top people in the field, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We, over time, a number of papers had been given at national conferences, and then the Air Force sponsored a symposium for Native Americans, archaeologists, land managers. That was in 1996. So in 2002, we felt that the last previous publication on the Western Papagueria was in 1982, and we felt that it was really time. And so we invited anyone who had contributed to those papers and symposiums to be part of the book, and surprisingly, a lot of them were very excited to do so. And so we have many voices, from Native Americans to amateurs to historians and archaeologists.
We have less than a minute, but how would you like this book to be used and remembered?
Well, I think it's important both for professionals and for the public to look at this book and understand the Western Papagueria, because it's really an incredible place.
Final word, few seconds.
Well, we hope that people can get an appreciation of a place that they may only think about on their way to San Diego or Rocky Point.
They may think a little different after this interview.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. The book is Fragile Patterns, The Archaeology of the Western Papagueria. It is distributed by University of Arizona Press. Thank you very much.
Thank you.